So we mounted this cutting board onto the steering column there using that bolt. There's that little hole up there. We finally got it up there without the amp on it. There's plenty of clearance. It's mounted basically in the middle. That bolt goes to the middle of the cutting board. And now we're going to mount this amp. We're going to screw it on there. I have these little spacers that should give me clearance for that bolt under the amp. See if we can do that. And we got it mounted all back on that bolt. And the bolt comes out there through the cutting board. Then the amp is mounted on these spacers, as you can see, just to clear that bolt. If you look down below, you see we have all the cables nice and zip tied to the steering column. And there is the grommet. Here is where the power cable is going through the firewall. Then we just gotta route the speaker cable down to the center console where our sub's gonna be. So we got the amp mounted under the steering column. I wired the power cable through this hole in the firewall here. For a manual, that plug is just there empty. That's there for an automatic transmission. If you have a manual, you can drill a hole in that plug. I chose to buy a new plug. I always like my Jeep stock, so I can always bring it back to stock. And they're readily available online for about $8. So you can feel safe drilling through that, guiding your cable. And I fished it around here. Fished it around real nice, right by the other cabling. And we're going to fish it around here. And I'm going to put it into this fuse here. And the fuse you want usually within 18 inches of the power. Here we got it real nice and close. And we had an existing little bracket on this that I unscrewed and put a new bolt, and it fit the bracket perfectly. See right there, that little bracket? And you got a nice, again, no drilling. This Jeep is still stock. I can bring it back to stock anytime I like. So the final amp wiring. We got the power lead going a really short distance to this bracket, the fuse, going across by the original wiring and down through that transmission hole. It's a manual, so it's available. All good Jeeps are manuals, but it's a story for another day. Then we have that power cable coming out there and being all nice and tidy, leading up to our amplifier. You can see that. And then the view from there, that's our amp. You can see that red power cable under the steering column. Speakers are going to be in the center console. That's the next to do.